Today is a very good day. So today we are building a keyboard that I have been waiting for since September. It's my first like high-end, fully custom keyboard. Just when you see the box, you'll see what I'm talking about. This is said keyboard. It's called the Odin keyboard from KBDFans. See right there. I already opened it, but you know, didn't really get a super good look into everything. This is just regular foam. This is more packing foam, but it's dense enough that I can actually use it as foam for sound dampening. So this is the daughter board. This is the foam that goes underneath the keys. This is the hot swap PCB with foam already underneath it. You can't really tell right now, but you'll be able to tell it to get apart. Ooh, this is the aluminum plate or brass. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. And this is a polycarb plate. And then we have a bag of gasket. This is the gaskets. This is a gasket mounted keyboard. And then in here we have our stabilizers, screws, and O-rings. And we got some tools here. And then the piece of resistance, the case. It is fully aluminum, and naturally I got the black one. So you could have gotten it with a brass back plate, but didn't really care for that too much. See, fully aluminum, and this is a chunky boy. Alrighty, so while this video plays, you're going to be hearing me voice over the rest of it because in the background of this video, this recording, there was a humming sound, and it was quite unpleasant, quite annoying, quite distracting also. So because of that, I'm gonna put some music on and I'm just gonna talk over exactly what you're seeing in the video. Not really exactly like a play-by-play, but just talk about the keyboard in general. Anyways, so for this keyboard, this was the, again, like I said, the KBDFans Odin. It was a group buy that I participated with in September, and I finally got it the end of December. And as you can see, I'm pulling the PCB out. The PCB is a hot swap PCB, and the RGB in this PCB is super bright. You will see that a little later. Now my thought for this build was I wanted it to be basically a build that I could, use, change around anytime I want to. It could be my pseudo end game build, or it could just be my build that I'm, messing around with. There's a lot of things that you could do with this build because this is a gasket mounted keyboard. As you can see the little spaces in there, you'll see that's where the gasket goes. And I was very much looking forward to this keyboard because I really do enjoy 1800 layouts like this. I like having my number pad. I don't like limiting myself when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I always prefer to have a keyboard that has a number pad over, buying a 75% keyboard and then buying a number pad separately. I don't want to do that. So what we're doing here is we are testing the keyboard. I always recommend that you test the keyboard before you start installing it or you start modding it. Always test the keyboard. So this is VIA, and basically I'm just touching the traces on the back, and what it's doing is when you touch the traces, it closes the circuit and has the switch activate, and then this program will tell you if it's working or not. This is definitely something that you want to do if you're building a custom keyboard. Now you're going to see certain keys aren't lighting up, and that's because of the design of the keyboard. That's why. So everything here works, so we're good to go. All right, so we're going to put this to the side. We're going to make the stabs. We're going to set the stabs up. Now we get to the stabs. The stabs in this keyboard, these were stock stabs that came with the KBDFans kit. They're not bad stabs, but they weren't the best. I did have to end up clipping them, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Not really much you can do about that. But In the long run, do I want to eventually upgrade and get like some Durag V2s? Sure, of course I do. But right now, for for the keyboard the way it is, they do sound pretty good. I did lube I did lube the wires, and I did lube the actual stabs itself. And as you can see, we put on stab pads on the keyboard, also just a little more padding for the stab, so that way it's just, you don't get that weird just not nice sound along with the stab. So these were screw-in stabs. They're not plate mounted, which is nice. But again, always double check your stabs after you install them, because sometimes even the best keyboard makers will install a stab backwards. I've done it myself, and it's just not good, especially with a keyboard like this where you have to take apart almost everything. Well, not almost everything, but you got to take the keyboard apart to change stabs. So going over the look of this keyboard, I wanted to keep it fairly simple, so I did buy this set from Acco. I'm a huge fan of Acco's keycap set, especially their ASA profile. I have like 3 sets of their keycaps so far, and in my opinion, they're some of the best keycaps you could buy for the market. They're really not that badly priced, about $60, and you get every a keycap that you could possibly need. So, like I said before, this is a gasket mounted keyboard, so installing the gaskets is kind of something that you kind of need to do. One thing that I wish that I did would be to go back and not use the brass plate. The brass plate is fine, but I wish I could get a little more flex, so I think I'm going to buy some more gaskets and swap out the brass plate for the polycarb plate that they gave. And now, talking about switches, we are using silent alpacas, and if you've been on the channel for any sort of amount of time, you know that I am a tactile guy, but I like these alpacas so much that I decided to put them in my new main keyboard. They're a linear silent switch. They are probably one of the most quiet switches that you'll ever hear. Get it? You install the daughter board into the keyboard, and you place the case foam in there, which is really nice that they give you case foam because it just helps lower the resonance of the actual keyboard. And then once all that is said and done, you put the PCB in, all that good stuff, and you install the actual keyboard. Like I said, I wish I went with the PCB plate, but it is what it is. I can change it because I still have all that stuff, obviously. And that's what keyboards are about. You find what you like, and you figure out what works and what doesn't work. And then after that, it's very simple. You screw it in, you put on the little case feet in the back, and then you install the keycaps. And one thing I will say about these Acco keycaps, I like the case that they come in, but taking the keycaps off is a huge pain. It's very annoying. So you have to use I use a keycap puller to pull the actual keycaps off of the the thing for the keycaps. So in my personal opinion, I really like how this board sounds. I really like how the board looks. I will be making some changes in the future. But yeah, so that is about it. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.